This is an interactive theatre experience. So why don't we get started? You're going to meet Connor and some of his work colleagues. He's a bit of a star, right? He's kind of one of these up-and-coming go-getters. Let's get a glimpse into how he's showing up at his workplace.
How do you manage it all? I mean, you're working such long hours and you've got the baby on the way.
I've called James. The table's arriving the day before. I've got a safety audit in my drafts just here, ready to send off at about 4 o'clock.
His performance at work is starting to decline. And all of his colleagues, of course, they have an opinion, don't they, about what might be contributing to his decline. But the rest of the headlines, each of them is going to tell you something about Connor, or at least about what they think about Connor and what's happening to him.
Bing bong. Attention all staff in the events department. Cases of unsolicited winking will be taken extremely seriously.
Looking at Connor, you'd think he's neat. He was my star, his work always complete.
Okay, so here's what I want you to do. You've got a couple of minutes to chat with the person next to you. So, tell me what you know. So facts and stories, call it out and tell me where you want me to write it. The fact is that if you were videoing it, you could see that his foot would go down like this in the car from time to time. Do you see? I know I'm sounding like a lawyer, I am one. So our danger is not necessarily in creating stories. Our danger is in what we do with those stories once we've created them. Is what? How are we going to find out what's really factual and what's just made up? What would be the best thing for us to do? Yeah, that's right. Go and have a chat with Connor. Now, you are so fortunate today, because remember, Connor's taken a truth serum. What do you want to ask Connor?
How are you finding your current workload?
It's fine. I've been able to keep up with it so far. I don't think the workload's the issue. I just feel like I'm putting in all the same effort. I'm just not getting the same results, and I don't even know why.
Karen does decide that she probably does need to have a one-on-one conversation with Connor.
I have noticed you're still struggling. Okay, well, yeah, I think we'll reschedule.
What happened in that conversation? Does she come from a good place? What happened for you towards the end of that conversation?
I mean, we have check-ins quite regularly, so we just, breeze in, breeze out, and that's quite normal for us. But yeah, I really wasn't expecting that.
She can't do anything about this conversation. It is done. I'm going to call it a repair conversation. So this is where she needs, because she hasn't been trained, she hasn't done the course, so we're going to give her like a crash course in how to communicate better with Connor. But the great thing is we have the collective wisdom of so many people who work in HR, people and culture space, don't we, right? Like, oh my goodness. Karen is really eager to learn.
I think starting with a sorry, that didn't go as well as I thought.
Look, I wanted to talk to you about what happened earlier.
Sorry about that.
No, I'd actually like to apologise to you.
I'm not succeeding the same. I'm not getting the same
not at all.
He now has a diagnosis.
I can't even lift up my son too many times a day now without hurting myself. And I just don't know how I'm supposed to get ahead at work.
And as I listened to him, the lawyer steps in and goes, okay, well, that's clearly a disability under the Disability Discrimination Act. Disability is defined very broadly to mean intellectual, physical and psychological. And the bigger question is this: do we as an organisation value people who have a disability? And Connor is now operating at a 7 out of 10. And so some of his colleagues are still comparing the Connor of now to the Connor of the past.
But look, I mean, Karen thinks that he's operating at what he was, but there's no way he's like that. She's dreaming. Look, I'm not going to shovel off all the new clients to you, because what Karen doesn't know won't hurt.
No, I think that's a good idea.
So now what they're doing would cross over into the space of disability discrimination. So discrimination is when you treat someone less favourably than another person in the same or similar circumstances because of, and there's a whole range of protected categories, all the information's in your booklet, but in this situation it's because of disability. I wonder what's missing for Jed and Sue that allows them or causes them to think that way. How do you want her to show up? What do you want her to say to Connor? How do you want her verbals and her non-verbals to be?
I just really want to say sorry. I thought you were winking at, well, not just me, but other people in the office.
I'm married.
We want to create workplaces where people feel safe enough to actually have those conversations, feel like they're going to be supported, and that the workplace is then going to work with them around it.